is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. Get on board. We're soaring on top of
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday. I hope you all have had a great week. Hope you're ready for this. We're going to run from Costa Rica up to Miami, otherwise known as Little Havana or Miami, whichever your choice. So we're going to fly an American's 737 service. However, we'll be using probably the best add-on in the simulator market out there. And no, folks, it's not who you think. It's ZIBO. I'm sorry, I've even watched some of the other competitor. It just doesn't come near this thing. They're just now starting to catch up, and they still can't beat the best quality of it yet. Free. That's right, folks. What you see on the line is free. It's a free mod from the folks that created ZIBO. It is a phenomenal package of software that is simple to install and really easy to use. So we're going to kick this off, hop up in the cockpit, get this girl going. We got about a 2.5 hour run from here over to Miami, and we'll hope you enjoy and see why this is such a great aircraft. And it is in the world of X-Plane 12 on top of it, which really hurts that other side. So, but again, I hope you enjoy. So here we go, up into the office we go, and let's quickly do a pre-brief here so y'all get a clue of what we're doing to a point. And I realized I did not close that window. All right, so there we go. All right, so here we are down in Liberia, Costa Rica. Requested, by the way, this was requested on our Discord channel by, oh, I hate when that little streamer mode is on, Piloto Victor. I requested this about a month or two ago, and I finally got a plane down here to Costa Rica, and we're gonna fly it up. I really wish there was an A321 version for it. I prefer to fly it, but I also love this plane, folks. ZIBO's 737. All right, so let's take a look at it, shall we? First off, the loadout today. We are going to be hauling 34,730 pounds worth of payload. Now that's going to break down to about 151 passengers plus 3 lap kids, and approximately 8,300 pounds in the cargo holds. Now that'll be a combination of cargo and baggage. So you can see the route. It has been amended slightly, because if you look at the tail end of it there, folks, where do we go from Funko? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why it cut it off. Sim Toolkit, not Sim Toolkit, but Sim Brief is the, I should have looked for a better flight plan, but I took the first one that came up. So anyway, cost index will be 35, and our flight level initially 320 at Funko, which end of the line here, 33,000, which actually we'll see when we really boil it down, because we're kind of getting close to the arrival into Miami. We're kind of, I think, right on the southern edge of Cuba, which is what we cut across to get to Inbex, which starts our arrival. We'll brief that here as we build the flight plan. So, but here you go. Now, one thing going on, whatever METAR source that Sim Toolkit uses must be down, because we haven't had weather now better part of a week worth of streams. So something's up, and we'll hope for the best here that things get righted. But we'll look at the weather another way. We just won't be able to see it nicely graphicked up here. All right, and then let's see. I don't think there's any other things to click here. So let's get into Sim Brief, shall we? Actually, yeah, Sim Toolkit, whoever they hook. I think I said Sim Brief, so my bad. Hang on a second. I meant to get rid of that. There we go. All right, so we'll go to Sim Brief. Now, what I've done here in Sim Toolkit, I have added DATIS, Sim Brief, and NavGraph. NavGraph is a pay source, but you can, with this cog, follow the simple directions here and link them. So that way it's a one-stop shop for you in flight planning. So we're in Sim Brief, so let's just click View. Here's our current flight again, 151 peeps, our weight breakdowns. However, if we come down here, here's our departure weather. We are looking at a wind of 080 at 18, clear, visibility okay, and a temperature of 33 degrees Celsius. Beautiful day. They're in the tropical Central American region. Whoops, wrong one. Wanted to go that one. Okay, now in Miami, gonna get a couple of things here. We'll kind of scroll down. We'll get to the ATIS here in a second. I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can do this. But really, the weather we're looking at is 120 at 14 with gusts to 24. We do have a ceiling at 2,600 feet. Then at 25,000, another. We have a broken sky at 26. Yeah, I know. The repairman just couldn't get out and fix it. But anyway, we also have broken at 25,000. 26 degrees Celsius. Sorry, folks, could not pass up that one-liner. And an altimeter of 22. So now, what did I cover up? It's not a conspiracy, folks. The ATIS for here. This is the real world. So as of 1653Z, which is a little over about an hour and a few minutes old. There's our METAR. All right, so approaches are being conducted to parallel converging and intersecting runways. Meaning, you're all going, what the heck does that blah, 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 blah mean? Arrivals expect 8 right and runway 9 also runway 12. Now it gets tricky when you throw 12 in the mix because you're coming right through the approach path for the 8s. So things change up a little bit. However, they can keep the 9 going. You just have a land and hold short in effect. There's your hold short of runway 9. It's 8,100 feet. So we could conceivably shoot 1-2 and be right into the wind. The LDA on 9 to the hold short of 112 is 9,700 feet. So again, we'll kind of weigh this out as we get there. I didn't think about that. We may do a slight change up in our flight planning. So, and then the rest of this is real world notice to air missions. Otherwise, the term was NOTAMs in the past. Now it's notice to air missions in the real world. Okay. So that's something neat that you can pull out of Sim Brief. It's just for some reason Sim Toolkit can't connect for whatever reason it may be. All right, and then there's also, you can see our alternate Mickey World, otherwise known for those of you Orlando or Disney. That's why I call it Mickey World. All right, so we'll get Sim Brief out. Now I mentioned one other thing. Now we can at any time go to this website as long as we're flying in U.S. territory airport, pretty major airports. There's a bunch you can see when you open it up, like we're going to do here. It's called DATIS. Now it's only U.S. airports and territories. So Anchorage, Honolulu, which by the way, yes, are states, but for some reason get considered always as territories. Haven't figured it out yet. Well, trying to figure out the U.S. government. You ever do, folks, you will lose sleep over it. San Juan, Puerto Rico is in there. I don't think there's any other abroad. So, but anyway, all you do is come up here to select facility. When you click that link in the cloud, in the chat, it'll take you here. And then just look for your airport. You can see there are a bunch. I'm going to run through them all before we'll go back. So you get an idea. There's quite a few airports with this. And Miami does give 2 different ATISs on the same channel. We're going to go on the arrival side, and it's going to be exactly what we just read. Look at that. Converging, intersections, arrivals, 8 right 9, 1 2, blah, 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 blah. You know, hey, folks, it's exactly the same. What's cool about this, if you haven't figured it out yet, you could take off. We'll take off right now. We already know what Miami's doing. Whereas before DATIS, you had to wait to get in range to tune it in on your VHF radio and then plan your arrival. Because things change, folks. Weather, let's be honest, the weather changes. So this is such a great tool for 2 reasons. One, a lot earlier you can set up for what you believe they'll give you, because it's even telling you. ILS runway 8 right, 9, 2, and 1, 2. RNAV or GPS to 8 left. And then the lengths that that are allowed to the hold shorts of the 2 runways. Which, that right there in itself, folks, is a godsend when you can sit there and start saying, okay, so as we've flown from here to 2.5 hours, they've had a line of thunderstorms come through. Well, they've had this, which you would not have known in the past, unless you hooked up with company traffic that came out with it on the Unicom. So really a cool tool. And I'm thankful they have it out there. I'm sure pilots are loving it. And as you can tell, you can pretty well set your approach up. I can do it like we will on right here. So really a great tool. All right, so I think that's enough here on Sim Brief and Sim Toolkit. Let's get to flight planning, shall we? Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to bring charts in. That's what I like to use when we're in flight planning to let you see the route building before we get to it. Teaser. Just saw a little tease. All right, I'm just getting things set up here. There we go. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, now ZIBO. Let's really talk about, folks. I can already hear the jealousy in the other side of the house that flies that other sim. It is not better than my almighty PMDG. Okay, they may beat it in a couple of areas, but they beat it overall. And you guys just got an EFP that we've had since, since quite a while. Since X-Plane 11, as far as I know. It could have gone back even further than that. I don't know. I started with X-Plane and X-Plane 11. I came from that world, and I can tell you PMDG didn't have it then. But anyway, so we have this nifty little device here. So we're going to be coming in here in a minute. I'm just setting up my AV tab real quick. It's just a nice little map to have. Just getting it kind of set up. Granted, for the most part, we're going to be over this kind of stuff, so it really doesn't show us where we're at. But while we're over land, it's kind of neat to have. All right, so let's get back here. We're going to eventually be using this here in a minute, but we're going to get through the checklist up to this point and then continue on. All right. So the checklist I'm using is, well, let's just go back to AFTAB real quick. Where are you? Is it that one? Yep. Yep, there it is. I'm using the ZIBO 737-800X concise checklist. Now there is another more in-depth one. Hey folks, pick which one you like. I just like this one. It gets all the features hit and you get rolling, I think, in the same amount of time. It's just what you prefer to work from. Okay, so first things we're going to make sure battery, standby power, ground power on, and the AC/DC switch for the Hawk set. We know how much he loves AC/DC. All right, so let's get up here and show it off, shall we? Oh, one too high. All right. Okay, battery switch is closed. Standby power set. AC/DC switch is already to ground power, and we're on the ground power. Logo lights are set. Fuel pumps are off. Trim air is on. Aircraft is basically ready to go. Last checks. Parking brake set. Flaps up. And 0, 0. Spoilers down. So to me, great check here. Everything's in order. I'm just clearing off the FMCs. All right. Next up, let's do the flight recorder check. Test good. Mach airspeed warning test 1 and 2. Stall. Good. Oxygen guarded. 3 green on the landing gear. Oxygen system looks good. EECs are on. Reversers are closed because they're not lit up. Service interphones off. Dome light off. And a test of our devices. Everything's up. ELT armed. Display select switch I've already tuned over to heading status. We'll explain in a second. And for this flight, let's go with the right side. Align. Make sure you get the on DC. And then nav. When you're in a line. All right, why we go here? This is the only place you're going to find out how many minutes till you're aligned. That is your inertial navigation system. Okay, let's move down again and start getting this girl going. Hang on a second. I told you we're going to spotlight it, so let's get over there and get it started. All right, so what is this? Well, it is going to begin to load our plane, and we only did all of this beforehand in SimBrief, saved it to a couple of files, put it in here. We're ready to go. So here's our OFP 151, cargo 8,305, 21,370 pounds of fuel. All looks good. Hit activate, and that's all you got to do. It'll even bring the jetway over if we're in the right spot. I don't think we are. Nope. It'll open up the cargo doors and it'll start loading. And even go so far as to hook up the fuel and fuel us. All right, well, we're going to continue. Cabin utilities are on. IFE is on. Equipment cooling normal. Forward and aft service doors are open on the left side. I'm sorry, correction, right side. No smoking is set. Emergency lights on. Lights again are set. Window heats on. Pitot heats off. Anti-ice off. We are to the point. Okay, trim air's on. Recirc's on. Packs are on. Isolation open. APU off. Let's set up our FMC. I know I'm going fast, folks. If you miss something, you know, the great thing here is we do have a YouTube channel. This flight will be up there later tonight. Hit that link and you can see all the other flights we've done. All right, on this, the big thing, you want to make sure you got the right model and your nav data is up to date. If you are one of those that does that, I am. Okay, we're in MRLB. Now, I come down here and use the GPS. Today is the 1st. I use the left side on odd days, the right side on even days. That's just my preference. You figure your own. All right, we're done. Now, when this aligns in 2 minutes, it will align, and you'll get your PFD to look right and your nav data to look right. You'll get an actual artificial horizon in here. Okay. Continuing on. Okay, ProPeat. ProPeat again confirmed on. Anti-ice. Wing and engine off. Hydraulics. Engine systems engine hydraulics are on. Electrics are off. Fuel pumps already confirmed off and still are. Trim air confirmed on, still is. Recirculating fans are in auto, still are. Packs are auto. Our isolation valve is open as before. Engine bleeds are on, and once the fueling begins, we can then begin to look to starting our APU. All right, so with that, we've got our cruise altitude set plus 1,000. 32,000's our cruise, so plus 1, 33. Helping you kids out there that are in math, because I stink at math, as we found out yesterday at work. All right, and then finally, we're going to get back down to the FMC and really begin to put the razzmatazz on you. Okay, now you know we are aligned. You've got that right here. Our fuel is coming up to the 16, 17,000 mark here in a couple thousand. Then it'll switch into the center. We still have some things I like to do before pressing on. Let's get the route in. Request. Oh yeah, did I say, hey, do you guys do that in PMTJ request now or not? I don't know. I never see you guys do it. It's kind of like an Airbus thing. All right, and it is in there now. So let's go to legs, switch into map, and let's see what's in here. First thing I want to make sure, now it is time. Hang on. Now this isn't any razzmatazz. This is just a lot of wishful thinking that charts will not overwrite me. I didn't do too bad. Okay. All right, why did I bring this up? Well, this is our departure, folks. We are going to fly the LISPA 1 Sierra to LISPA off 7. Okay, so first thing I want to check, we are set up on 7 and LISPA, so back to route. Okay, so let's look at it. Actually, I want to do one thing here. Bear with me. I'm going to roll this out. There we go. Alright, so basically you got to first put your EFIS in plan, set your range, and then on your FMC, you're going to want to use the step feature to go through each of your fixes. And I highly recommend this, folks. Otherwise, you could end up into an issue where you hit a discontinuity, or you miss something and you're going 1,000 miles in the wrong direction. Okay, so we just watch it up here for that. Okay, and we're right now centered on LB 702 where the center is, so we're right here. Palms is next, LISPA. Step. Okay, now we know that's in there correctly. Here's where it gets a little tricky. We'll try to keep it simple. Okay, LISPA we know, so RAKEL is next. Tippet, Manure, and Permo. Okay, those are those next 4 or 5, whatever. And we just kind of watch them, make sure it was entered correctly. AMC, Erlo, SELEK, and FUNKO. Now, why does my route here show up to index? Well, that's because it wasn't added. So bear with me here a second. Let's go to route. UL345 index. INDIX. Alright, so it's not gonna let us do this. INBIX. Oh, IK. Dummy. IKBIX. Execute. Okay, so what we're doing, it adjusted our flight here. So instead, because you saw same airway from SELEK to FUNKO, and then on to ICBIC, we're going to do it that way. Now, let's go back, check our legs. Oh, I know why. Hang on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are expecting a full flight today. Please do us a big favor, make sure once you make your way towards the back of the aircraft.
There we go. Now those new ones are on there. So Denju. Okay, so let's step on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Ellie Boo. And then our final fix. Okay, looking great. Now, we got to put in our arrival, which has been added. Snibber 3. Okay, same thing, folks. I'm going to, just for safety, go to map. Okay, so we're in map mode. Go here, click arrival under Miami. Snibber Ibex. All right, Now the flight plan calls for 8 right. And that only is because that's right where American is. I mean, you come off right into American. I'm going to stick to it. So ILS 8 right. All right, now a neat little feature here. Let me kind of show that. To help you, let me kind of zoom in up here. See, you got, this would have had available arrivals in this line if we didn't select it already. Now we're going to select our approach. So we have approaches available, 23 for this one. Well, for any of the runways. I am really tempted on one of these. Where is fog zone? Alright, so ultimately this sets us up for runway 9. Otherwise we head up for final for 8 right. I think let's see what the Zulu. See, our fix is right. Now I can hook onto it. Or just do final. We're gonna do. And there we go. I'm setting us up for the RNAV, folks. So I am going to erase. All right, now we're going to look for either RNAV or, okay, so we're doing the Yankee. And we're not doing one of these, so we'll click execute. Now, let's see how that looks on our leg page. Now, to get there real quick. All right. So first, let's look at the snitter. That's never good. All right, so I did something wrong again. Hang on. If I got to do the runway first. Ah, there we go. Now we got it in there right. So Ikby, Peaky, Pamper, and then from Pamper to Snidber. And you can see it even has our constraint here. Then we're going to oh yeah, I'm not stepping, sorry. Haslam, Moray, Eleg, which is the end. And then Copra, Lawn, and the runway. Our missed approach, which is out to Virginia Keys, where we hold. All right, now there is a feature in SimBrief where you could set up a route for your alternate on ZIBO. I'm just not going to use it. All right, there we go. I think we're still boarding. Yep, we're at 70%. All right, so we know the route is in correctly now. Let's go back to the route page, double check. LLEG, RNAV with our missed approach. Cool. Now you could route copy. Done. All right, next up in the lineup is the perf page. Welcome, Bad Attitude. Hope you're having a great attitude day. And we're getting ready to head to Miami. All right, so now we go to the perf initialization page. And I forgot to do something. Stand by, I'm getting it set up in the background. Doggone it, always forget this. My cheat sheet. Okay, 151. All right, where are we at? Zero fuel weight wise. Works for me. I'm just going to add 300 pounds. Okay, fuel. All right. Usually I have this set up, and I was remiss today. Sorry. 21. Actually, I'm kind of fibbing. I never have this page set up. I always forget. Burn 13,790. All right, now I do. Okay, go to the takeoff page and update. And we'll do that and that. Okay, now it's set so when we're ready to come over to it, we can. Charts is away. All right. So we left off at the perf page. We also, like many of the Airbus products out there, have a request. And what it's going to do is go out, request, fill this page only. Little bummed, that's all it does, but hey, it's better than nothing. You don't think it's doing anything, folks, always look for the word load, activate, or the execute button here lit up. All right. Today's fuel load was 21.3.
Ladies and gentlemen, the boarding doors are closed. Flight attendants prepare doors for departure. Cross check for your price staff. Stand by for all call.
Pretty good time, huh? Reserves for the flight. What I do,
Got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
is that the one where they closed the door? That's the one they closed the door on. Okay. All right, so we're finishing this up here real quick. Silly. And that's not even what I wanted. Doggone it. The fuel page. Let's go with a reserve of 46.3. Execute. Initial climb out of here again is 32,000. Okay. Cruise winds already in there. Temperatures are already in there, and our transition altitude is already in there, along with our cost index. Next page. All right, let me bring in TopCat. This is a payware piece, but what I use it for is exactly what it says. Takeoff and landing performance data. TopCat. Calculation tool, okay? You know, you get fibby, you know, you can get squibbly with me. I don't care. Oh, wait, I clicked the wrong one, so hang on as soon as I get set here. There we go. All right. Okay, so as you can see on TopCat here, folks, it's a real great program. We can come over here, we set our airplane up. Basically, I make sure this number matches my sim brief or professional flight planner. It works for both. And my fuel numbers match up. Fuel on board, fuel for trip. 500 pounds is a 20-minute taxi. Okay, then you go to takeoff. Update. And it's going to update the weather to the current METAR this goes after, and then puts it in. Verify your runway 7, that it's 9,000 feet, 072, there's your slope. Those are things you're going to need in a couple of pages. A lot of streamers and pilots skip over that page. I don't. All right, so with the correct data in, simply click compute. You can also throw MELs if there's any in it, shortened runway, and all of that good stuff, front and back. Okay, for this one, I know it's because of the temperature outside, we can only D-rate on a TO2, which is already a D-rate, with flaps 1 to 36 degrees. So TO2, 36. Give it a second. It will compute your climb, what it thinks you should do. I'm going to go with that, actually. Why did it? I hate when it does that, folks. Sorry. Okay, now go to the takeoff page. Click CG. Then next page. Remember those that I set up there, folks? Well, now we're going to stick them in there. Runway wind, we're showing 090 diagonal 13. Slope. This one I didn't do for a long time until Bad Attitude here on the scene showed me the little trick to it. Okay, we're positive 0.3, so it's upslope 0.3 on this runway. So to enter that, all you do is a 0.3. Then the diagonal, then it wants the runway heading. That's easy to find, folks. Any chart will show you it. There you go. So we now have it a little more fine-tuned. Plus, if you're on a wet runway, contaminated runway, they're right here. line select will move it over. So there you have it, folks. Next page. CG's already in. We got a flaps 1 departure, so click the number 1, enter it, and there's what the computer on the plane says the aircraft should do it in. This aircraft, okay? Don't use this for real world navigation. This is only for flight simulation. I had to do it in my robot voice because, oh well, it's not real. So looking over here now, I'm going to highlight it in blue. 148 to 149 for V1. Huh, look at that, it's right on. 149 for V rotate. Pretty snazzy, huh, folks? And 153 for V2. Now, the part that may not materialize for us is this, 619 feet down, remaining on the runway. It's a 9,000 foot runway, folks. We're going to technically, by this setup, leave the ground with 600 feet left in a 737? That sounds more like the 747-200's performance, not. So I think that's pretty cool. And I don't know if in real world that's how it would be or not. But that's pretty cool. Now, the other part you're seeing there, N1, that is what this should equate out. And it's very close. It's 92.9 here. We're 92.3. So that's pretty, everything's just about dead on. So, and that, folks, by the way, is pretty much plane ready to go. We just need to come up top. Get rid of toolkit. I'm sorry, top cat. I'm sorry, went one too high. And left pump on, APU coming on. All right, and folks, we are ready to go. And I'm going to take, all you got to do now is once we're on the APU, we just need to bring the generator online when this lights up, and then come over here and flip the bleed on. Then come up here, go to APU gen, then we go to the EFB and disconnect ground power. Almost there. There it is. It's available. Click, click. I'm going to go ahead and move this now. APU bleed on. Our pressures are coming up. And DC to there. We're set to go, folks. Last piece of information to go in. Flight directors on. All right. Our speed. Okay, what I set is rotate. I'm sorry, V2 plus 10. So that's this column right here, V2 153. Get rid of that one so it's not confusing. 153 plus 10. 072. Now, technically, most departures would have sometimes a initial altitude on them that you're supposed to, go up to, and then when ATC either tells you to or it's 10 minutes after, whatever it says, you then press on. Not on this one. So we're going for 32,000. All right, leave your auto throttle unarmed. And finally, fuel flow switch to reset. Okay. And working our way down. Now we're going to set our minimums. 400 feet. That's what the AIM says the minimum should be. Now, whether, you know, sometimes these departures will turn you earlier than that. And if so, adjust. All right, and 2990. I like it when it's that simple. And I've got it set up to reflect both sides. The only thing I have to do is set this. Let me see something here. I put the new terrain radar in. I think I have to do anything else. We'll find out in flight. All right, and that, my friends, the plane ready to go. Speed brakes are still down. Parking brake set. Throttles. Just saying the airplane's now ready for takeoff. Flaps are up. And start levers in the cutoff. We'll come up top here. Catch the yaw damper, and ladies and gentlemen, head over here. Actually, are on. Okay, 100%, 100%. Call it 100%. Disconnect. Going to push back facing west.
Ground to copy. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to copy. Tower is driving up.
All right, there you go, folks. We are ready to go. Today, folks, we will be running on VATSIM. Matter of fact, we're already on the ground and ready to go in Gate 3. Feel free to join us. I don't know if we'll have ATC or not along the way. Time will tell. All right, let's get ready to start. Push back.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Anticipate possibly some light bumps or some choppy airs. We climb out as a precaution, keep our flight attendants seated for a few minutes. Make sure we know, what that ride's going to be like before they get up. Also appreciate it if everyone would remain in our seats during that time. Thanks for being with us today.
Tower connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, let's go through the pushback. System B. On. Fuel pumps with fuel on. I like to leave these off if we have fuel in them till we're airborne. Anti-collision on. And packs off. Here we go. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
I'm gonna wait till we start turning to start the engines up. But I do hope y'all are enjoying flying with Mike today, going from Costa Rica to Florida. All right, I think we're far enough out. Number to set your fuel on is 17 to 25. Okay, let's go ahead and begin on number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Select Int'l. Stand by.
And then again, once we go between 17 and 25% N2, watch your fuel flow to come up, and then your oil pressure and everything else. But again, as I was saying, I'm glad you're part of Flying with Mike today. If you are by chance new to the channel, love for you to smash that follow button. It's free. All it does is just sends an email to you if you tick off notifications and let you know when we're live. This is a Piloto Victor flight. He requested this a few weeks ago, and we're finally in the Liberia, Costa Rica area and flying it out for him. Feel free to also come aboard our Discord channel and make a request if you want, or just simply say, hey, I'm so-and-so from somewhere, and we'd love to learn about you, love to converse, love to carry on the chat from there.
Tower is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, thanks for flying with Mike there. Better pushback. There goes our tug. Just wait to see the pins before we continue. But again, thanks for being a part. There's the pins. Let's get going. Alright, back to the checklist. Alright, so the packs are still off. So let's get them back on. Correction, let's hang on a second here. How about we get on the gens first? There we go. Alright, now the hydraulics. AC/DC switch to 1. Boy, man, Hawker is just jamming out today with all of this moving of the AC/DC group. Heat on. We don't need anti-ice. Left and right packs. APU off. finally, let's do a quick flight control check. Easier to see, especially with the next surface we do, the rudder down below. All right, and then I just do a quick, all right, that's good. Blank that out, and I'll go brake. And blink. Parking brake off. All right, we are ready to go, folks. Weather radar here, terrain here. We'll see how this paints out, if it's any better. Kinda does. It doesn't look like it does on the download page, but we'll figure it out. Something's not right. Alright, and bear with me a second here, folks. Towers 118.8. Yeah, VATSIM has a new policy right now. 118. Alright. It started today. It is what's called CTAF, and it's basically, you know, I hate it when I forget the first letter. Common traffic. Duh. May 58 years old be better to you than it has been to me. But basically, folks, what you all love to do is yak on Unicom. Well, now you can yak on common traffic frequencies. Liberia traffic, American 1338 departing runway 7 after back taxi. Forgot my flight number. It's actually not an unusual thing, folks. I hear it quite a bit with the Allegiant flights.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
We'll back taxi the whole thing, because we told you 600 feet's all that should be remaining when we hit it. I'm going to show you an interesting, and I didn't know this with ZIBO for a while. There is a click spot for toga. So again, hope y'all are having a great Friday, folks. We are getting ready to get in the air here, and just got a little ways to go down the runway. Pretty much the whole runway. So, but I really do hope, and this week or season of Lent, that you do take time to come closer, get closer, and learn more about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave it all, folks, for us, for salvation on that cross. That's what Lent's all about, leading up to our cleansing of ourselves and of getting closer and right with God. So take that time, folks. It really isn't a lot of time, but take the time, get to know. And I pray when Easter comes, you can sit there and celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior. Boy, it's a long way down here, folks. I don't even show this taxiway. Huh. Looks like something to do with their military, maybe. But it's not even on my chart. Neither. Oh, wait. Yes, this one is. This is that way so they can keep traffic flowing. People get down here and can... instead of turning around on the runway and going, they can make sure they're ready to go up in here outside the hold lines. Again, X-Plane 12 scenery looking awesome. Just about as awesome as the ZIBO 737-800, which, if I haven't mentioned it in a while, it's gonna hurt you guys in that other world. It's free, and it's better. A lot more for your money. Alright, let's make sure we're ready to go. We are. Push it on. Curious what's going to happen the way this line looks. Okay, cool. I expected something a little more interesting. Thank goodness. Alright, here we go. Check takeoff. Auto throttle on. Lights are set. Just got to get that trim set. Right, here we go. Throttling up 60% once we're even. All right, that toga switch, folks. Right here at the microphone. Toga. That meant my flaps weren't down.
$80 knots. V1, rotate.
I don't think we had 600 feet left, folks.
Positive rate. $400. $1,000.
Alright, we're about to bring the flaps up, and let's first go ahead. Flaps up. Alright, we're gonna just keep our turn going here. And away we go, folks. We got, right now it shows 4 hours, 12 minutes. Yeah, I don't think so. Just keep that in mind, folks. Watch the clock. Okay. Feet. We got our brakes off, flaps up, gear closed, off. We're on our way, folks. Airport off to the distance there, folks, as we work our way on up to flight level 320. Making sure there's no constraints along the way to hold us up. Nothing. Alright, so we're on our way. Lights come off at 10,000, transition 19,000, and away we go. By the way, if you haven't looked at the estimated time en route, 3 hours, 15 minutes. Boy, we went 45 minutes that quick, folks. In 2 minutes. It's because we're getting up higher and into the winds, and then once we cross over 10,000, that number will get closer to the 2 hour mark that I told you pretty quick. The higher we go. Alright, folks, again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. We just departed Liberia for Miami on FatSim, so you're welcome. pick an airport, join us. We'll be in Miami in about 2 hours. So thank you again for taking some time out on your Friday. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing, but we sure appreciate you being on with Flying with Mike. Oh, excuse me, folks. I'll give you a little funny here, folks, because Costa Rica is always funny to talk about. Many of you know the movie Jurassic Park and the empire that spun out of it. The four movies now altogether. They tout, let's put that in big air quotes out there, folks. The island that they work with is in Costa Rica, off the coast. I forget which side. These islands reminded me of this. Little secret, folks. Now, I haven't seen it personally to 100%, tell you verified it's honest to God truth. It was filmed in the island of Lihu in Hawaii. Many of your movies you love that are in a jungle-like setting or in a tropical-like setting, they aim for the islands of Hawaii. The reason I say that, we were supposed to take a cruise a couple of years ago. Fell through 3 or 4 times. Compliments of everybody's favorite C word, COVID. Ugh, I hate that. What a farce. But anyway, one of the excursions we had planned was this tour of where all of these different movies were filmed in this part of the island. And it's pretty much that part they do a lot of filming. While they're driving through and telling you this and that on the monitor, according to the the documentation that comes with that brochure to get that hook in you to set you. Fishermen will know that. They're playing the clips so you can then see that's where they were. Now, I'm not going to say they didn't go down and take aerials of some of these islands, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And no, I'm not going to get into a discussion of COVID here. You will not like me. I think you already got a little flavor of it. Okay. All right, so we are on our way. And estimating now 2 hours 19 minutes. Boy, we traveled 2 hours, folks, in 7 minutes. We're not even accelerated. You gotta love it, folks. All right, so let's continue our climb. We just went through transition. Correction. We are now going through transition. So we'll set that and away we go. So I hope you enjoy the flight, folks. I'm going to take a quick break here and I'll be right back with you also going to go ahead, turn on my center pump so we can start getting those emptied. And everything else looks good. Packs are on. We're on our way, folks. My apologies, missed that Iowa Scotsman has dropped in to visit with us. Thank you, sir, for taking some time today. All right, folks, I'm back with you. There's starting to be some bumpy air through here. All right, and hope y'all are having a great time here. We've got about an hour and 50 minutes till we reach our destination at Miami, and we are beginning to level off. Let's go ahead and kill the wing lights. Push this out a little. Let's see how doing. No, it's still no different than before, so I don't know. Look over here, see if yeah, I just not really sure. All right, well, we know it's the latest, greatest terrain radar plugin, so it's not ZIBO, it is a plugin to help ZIBO. So, doesn't look like that plugin is doing everything it said it would. Oh, let's try that. Let's try something. Ooh, now that's kind of cool. Huh. Oh well, we will endeavor to. Oh, and 12. Okay, for a second there, I figured out where. So, anyway, what I'm looking at here, folks, if you're curious, is this link for terrain radar. Terrain vertical radars situational display. And it'll go through it when you click on the link, what all it can do. It's up to you, but it provides the default aircraft and a lot of other aircraft with the ability to see the terrain. Now, what they show and what I show are always two different things. So, because that's exactly what it looked like with the other one, and I have already pulled it. All right, let me just get my... There. Why I keep that on my route is in case... I kind of touched on it in the pre-flight. Say we come across, out of curiosity, at Manure, a discontinuity or something weird, and all of a sudden you start veering whatever or go into a hold or whatever it does, okay? By having your heading bug close, maybe not exactly on the route you were going, you can click the heading select button here. That's going to bring the plane back to the heading you were on and fly it. Now, it may not be perfect, okay, but it'll give you what you need to get things reset up in your FMC. I hear this a lot when we're close to arrivals. People will go in, put their new arrivals in, and they've already passed that one fix, and it's going to turn them back to go to that fix and shoot it again. Well, they can't figure out what it's doing. One, because they're just not flat out familiar with it enough. You got to really fly these FMC McDo type aircraft for quite a bit to learn all the little nuances. And I'm still learning them, folks, after well over 10 to 12,000 bat sim hours flying here on the sims. I still come across things I'm like, what the heck is it doing? And I learn, but the big thing is I get it back on course, aviating while trying to correct the situation. Worst case scenario, I'll hand fly it, meaning I'll use the autopilot and keep tweaking it. So that's why I do that. So, and since I was just touching on, let me give you just a quick, hopefully 1 minute snapshot of who you're listening to. Back in 1985, 1983, I earned actual private pilot's license. Was building time on it to become the next 747 pilot back then. Well, back then it might have first been the next F-15 pilot. But life happens, folks. And I had a horrible intermediate check ride in my training program, to the point that I felt like I just couldn't. What am I doing? I can't fly. It was just one of those kind of check rides, and I stopped. Embarrassed that I even put myself, because my instructor was always telling me, "Man, you know what you're doing." La 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 la. Then come to find out, it didn't feel like I did. So, long story short, we stopped flying and we began life. Joined the Air Force back in '86. The flying stopped in '85, hoping to get back in the air sometime. Well, as we all know how expensive flying is. So, fast forward to 1999, and I start flying Microsofts. It's either 98 or 2000. You're right there where they usually changed them. And from there on, I've been flying the simulators ever since. Flew for sure 2000, 2002, 2004. The best Microsoft simulator to date, a century of flight. Just flat out the best. We can argue, well, it's only 32-bit versus these great 64-bit ones. You know what, though? It still kicks the butt off many simulators, folks. A Century of Flight is Microsoft's best sim. Well, then FSX came out, and at the same time, a couple of their big, so-called great operating systems bombed. And yeah, you know the story from there with Microsoft. Yeah, they're still around. Not a big fan of them for some of the shenanigans they did to employees. But anyway, I started flying FSX like everyone, and I did not switch over to prepared. I finally convinced the missus to allow me to get a gaming computer, got a pretty decent computer, and FSX flew like a charm. Had no issues with it. There was one I would not know about until 2020. And that is in short, didn't get a hard drive big enough for the primary. The backup was fine, but the primary was the problem. And I ran out of memory. Not because of FSX, like some people use, because FSX eats up. No, it wasn't that at all. It flat out wouldn't start, folks, so it had nothing to do with that game. All to do with yours truly here not thinking through what he did. So, that computer is now dead. I, again, am graciously told I can get a new computer. Got this great X-Force computer here. And, you know, all of my begrudgery of Microsoft came to be. I can't get rid of Microsoft yet. I'm whittling it down, though, but I will not put a Microsoft simulator on my computer after what happened in the FSX days with the Microsoft employees. So I went to X-Plane, and Hawker 125 was constantly beating in me. Try it, try it, try it. Kind of like when bad attitude comes on. Dive, try it, try it, try it. I finally did, and I'm not going back to Microsoft ever. So, and I'm happy, and that's all that matters, folks. It's what you're happy with. If you're happy with, you know, if you even know what happened back in 2008, fine. You know, hey, that's great. I'm not, and I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be totally happy until Microsoft isn't on my computer anymore. So, but I went to X-Plane. Loved it, stayed on it. A few months later, started streaming. Here we are today. Okay, 5-minute version. But anyway, folks, that's a little short about me. You're not going to get me on Microsoft. I am streaming. And I want to tell you right now, folks, thank you for those who follow. I still sit here in total amazement. And it truly humbles me that there's a lot of people out there come to the channel and want to be a part of Flying with Mike. It just blows me away. And I again, thank you so much. It's just like I said, it's humbling. Very much so. And I wish I could do the experiment Spyflight did and retire on this, but I can't. That's okay. That's okay. Um, he's doing a great job over there, Spy Flight. So he helped, but also between Hawker and a streamer by the name of Captain Mac. Many of you will know him on YouTube. He doesn't know this, but he helped a lot to show me that, yeah, it can be done. Now, I can't do the editing that he does for YouTube. That's just amazing. I wish I could learn it and, shorten those videos up immensely, especially the crossing of the Atlantic or Pacifics. But, one day I may just come off for a month or two and learn it. Learn the art of editing. So, but there you go, folks. Again, truly, truly thank you so much for coming aboard. The Lord blesses us in some seriously strange ways, but in this time, it is one really great blessing. So, looking up at the clock, folks, we got about an hour and 45 minutes to go. If you look at our nav display here, kind of circling it, you'll see our winds. It's actually not bad right now, only a 22 knot headwind. We, as you all know, have mostly for this week and the week before seen a 1 in front of that for the speed and a headwind. So, it's just that time of the year, folks. So, and across the ponds coming up in a few weeks, westbound, if memory serves. And those of you that thought, hey, this is great, I can go from Chicago to Frankfurt in, it says 9.5 hours, and I did it in 8 to 8.5 hours. I'll wait till you come back. Get that 100-knot headwind, and that extra time you made is gone, and you're late. So, that's just some of the fun, though, of Cross the Pond, folks. And no, we will not be participating. To those of you who stream it, God bless you, man. When I streamed across the Atlantic here not too long ago, you can see that over at YouTube, to Brussels. Oh my gosh, that is so hard to stream. But God bless you all that do it, and make it, just really do a great job with it. Good, power to you. That's a long amount of time. All right, so let's see where we are. Bet you we got blue all around us. Okay, white for clouds. Actually, are we still over land? Oh, I'll be doggone, we still are. All right. All right, so we are over Nicaragua right now, folks, as we head for Miami.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So we're leveled to our initial cruise altitude, expecting a fairly smooth ride today. We have a seatbelt sign turned off, and while you're seated, we do ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened about you at all times in case we encounter unexpected bumpy air. And we do thank you for flying with us on American.
Alright, one of the neat little tools on here, folks, is this camera. And it's positioned right behind the crew door right here so they can see who's knocking at our door. Now, also you can see who's in the alleys here leading to the main door and the galley door right here. So it's kind of neat, and I can switch it. So I can even get a better look. So it's, you know, just so you all know, when you're on these planes, they can look into some places they really do need to keep an eye on. So things don't get out of control. All right, so an hour and 35 minutes to go. And, well, let's, you know what, we'll set it up this way. I do need to do something. Just realized it. All right, there you go, folks. Edge of the clouds is probably the edge of the land, and then out into the Caribbean. So enjoy the flight. We'll be back with you here in about 30 or so minutes as we work our way over to Miami. And I hope you all have a great Friday, and we'll still be here in about 30 minutes to begin talking about the arrival and making sure we're all set up for it, number wise and everything. See ya then. Alright, so does anyone out there? We're back again with you. Sorry about that. That is why I try to limit the lengths of these flights. They can be rough, and I'm coming off a shift that we did have some winter wonderland lovelies out there today in the form of rain, snow, ice mixture to deal with. So a little bit on the tired side, but I wanted to get this stream in for y'all and you know, not want to keep you all out because of how work is sometimes. Welcome to working at an airport. Really, this came a little bit of warning by the TV, but they were also downplaying it so badly that I really thought rain only. And lo and behold, we had sleet this morning when I woke up. So, but nothing to deal with. Temperatures were still mild enough to keep it on the ground liquidy. So, but yeah, that's the fun parts of working at an airport, folks. So that's what they tell me, at least. Let me put it that way. All right. So, what kind of weekend do you all have ahead of y'all? I mean, it's the weekend. It's Friday. Just kind of curious if you're willing to share what you are looking forward to, or you're just sitting at home, hey, watching TV. Well, this will be the last stream of the week, but you know, TV is a good thing sometimes to watch. Sometimes depends. But what say you on what you're doing this weekend? And you can feel free to put that in the chat. All right, and I just got in the Discord lobby, so feel free if you want to join us there. Here's an invite for you in case you haven't seen it. Love to chat with y'all. Just be mindful. This is a, you know, kid-friendly channel. You never know who's sitting there with whoever's on the other end, and then they have to explain to their kids why language like that comes out. And I don't want that here. I want a nice, clean stream. And that's why a lot of times I don't open up Discord, because some people can't realize it's, you know, it is what it is. All right, folks, we got about 20 minutes here till we're down to an hour of flying. I am going to go ahead and set on the side here, muted, but I'll be listening for you on Discord or in the chat, whichever is easiest for you. So we'll see you in about 20 minutes to set everything up. All right, folks, we're back with you. We got about an hour to go here. All right. You may notice the absence of music here today, folks. We've been getting gigged again quite a bit on music that is actually non-copyrighted, but for some reason Twitch lets it, YouTube doesn't, or YouTube lets it and Twitch doesn't. So I'm kind of to the point of not playing music anymore. So I don't want to take the chance of taking a serious hit from them all. So that's why it's been pretty quiet here, folks. I know I usually try to have some music going, but with them being so finicky and so different, it's really not worth it. All right, so we are reaching about the 1 hour point into Miami. Miami Center is up right now. And, well, the problem comes into play sometimes with me with frame rates. Right now it's not a problem, but as we draw in closer, we'll see how it goes. We'll probably make the switch over to them. And give it a try, but if we start seeing the frame rate issue that we do see a lot, we'll probably disconnect and come in without it. Plus there's a lot of traffic in there. That doesn't help anyone's machines. All right, so just giving you a little preview of what's coming. All right, now looking down here, we can see we're about 369 miles out. So this would be really a good point. Maybe. There we go. To bring charts in, and let's start doing the brief here. Just for those who really weren't here in the beginning. So they got an idea of what we're getting ready to fly into. We are currently, we're going to fly west of the Grand Cayman Islands, cross in at SELEK to Havana airspace. At Iqbix, we're going to come into Miami airspace. So we got a little ways to go. So we'll show you here in a second. Alright, so charts. Alright, so there you see it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bigger. You know, it always helps. There we go. Alright, the one thing I really wish ZIBO and a few others would do is to allow the FMC to undock. It's locked in there, and I don't, and I'm not going to sit here and tell them, you ought to do that, man. That would be awesome. It would be awesome, but I don't know the coding that's required for it. So, it is what it is, folks. We'll just muddle through. Let me just take care of our heading here. There we go. All right, so again, we're 353 miles out. So as you can tell here on the moving map portion, we're coming up to SELEK. Down here gives you that. We're 435 miles out of good old Miami. All right. Well, I'm going to give it a try, but I'm really thinking we're not going to be able to see much. Nope. Because I'm scared. Well, we should be able to. Well, oh no, it doesn't help if we're on that side. I was going to say, well, this one might work. Yeah. All right, so SELEK is right here. Then what is it? FUNKO? So that's where our flight plan with SimBrief ended. And we had to figure out how to get from here to Miami. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward you a little bit. Well, we found that ICBIX is the star we need to fly in, and it's actually called the SNIDBR 3 arrival. Okay, now the SIDBR comes off ICBIX, Peaky, Pamper. We just got to be above 23,000 feet at that point. And at the speed of 280, not below it, not above it, folks, but at it. Seriously, if you want to listen to some comedy, not intentional, JetBlue and ATC in New York airspace, whew, it's an interesting lesson. These are real, JetBlue, and you all thought that didn't happen. Oh, they do. But anyway, so from Pamper to SNIDBR, and if we were gonna, oh wait, oh yeah, we are going up to LLEGG for the initial into our approach. So from SNIDBR to Halsum, between 11 and 13,000. Now we need to be at 250. Again, not below, not above, at 250. And then on we go to LLEG, where we'll be at 4,000. Right now, I'm planning 8 right, unless they change it up and tell me they need me on 1-2. So, and again, that's even if we're still on ATC. It may be just too busy and I'm just not going to, you know, try to get a word in edgewise. All right, so from Snitter, we're going to go 028 to Halsum between 11 and 13,000 at 250, then 024 to Moray, then 058 to LLEG, and then expect the ILS or RNAV to 9 or the 8s and 1-2s. But it is actually an initial fix for runway 9, I found out. All right, from there, we're going to then, we're going to have a little fun, folks. We're going to do the RNAV Yankee approach for runway 8 right. And what that'll do is basically from LL Egg, we'll go to Copra and shoot the approach. Copra is about a 10-mile final. We'll cross Copra at 10,000, descend down to 15,000, and descend in. All right, let's get into this now. Like I said, folks, this is an RNAV approach. There is no frequency to put in. So there's our D-ATIS. We talked about that. And again, if you're interested and would like to know what the Miami real ATIS is saying, there's a link for you. Come up in the select a facility, look for Miami, and enjoy reading. All right, so Miami approach, tower, and ground. Now, again, folks, if you don't know, VATSIM is now playing with CTAF, experimenting until May at the earliest. What CTAF is a common traffic frequency. Instead of keeping us all on Unicom of 122.8, which there are a bunch of Unicoms and a multicom channel out there, but common traffic usually works off a tower frequency at the airport or is established, findable on your charts. It'll have a C after the tower frequency. That'll be what you tune in for VATSIM when they don't have centers. And maybe, I may learn something. Maybe we will get away from the center, because they can hose us up pretty badly. So our nav, the final approach course is 092. Vaughn, right here, we need to be at 1,500 feet or 1,492 feet above the ground on glide path. And then with an RNIP of 0.11, our decision altitude is 397 feet above sea level, or baro. Up here on your EFIS, radio is your radio altimeter. Baro is your regular altimeter, meaning barometric pressure it's working off of. Radar altimeter is working off the radar altimeter bouncing off the ground, telling you how far above the ground you are. Should we execute a missed approach, climb to 3,000, direct EW KIF, then track 127 to Virginia Key VOR, hold, climb, hold to 3,000 feet if need be. Okay, authorization required, GPS required, and so forth through here. Again, VGS and RNAV glide paths may not match, so be ready for that. Okay, and again, Chrome we would be at 3,000, but Copra will be at 3,000, descending to 1,500, then on the glide path. All right, minimums one more time, folks, is 397 feet MSL or 389 feet AGL. Now, when we talk minimums here, folks, this is also what allows you to fly this approach. If the METAR is telling you that the ceiling, which is a broken or overcast sky condition, is above 400 feet, and remember, they're in AGL. If it's above 400, you're good. You're not going to get one that says 389 feet. Just not going to happen. It's either 003 or 004. Round up, folks, for safety. Or the RVR for that approach, 45 or higher, or 7/8 of a mile. You almost need a mile to come in, folks. So our navs are a little different. Some of them you can get in just like an ILS, but a lot of them you got to hang back. So, and you're going to have more room. Got a Mauser on this approach, Pappy's on the left side. There's our missed approach, and then again we just went through minimums. All right, folks, so let's see where we are on the chart. There we are, getting ready to cross SELEK. FUNKO, Dungu, Elibu, and then Ikbix, and the arrival. All right, let's use two forms of how to figure out our approach speed. Actually, there's three. We'll do the two that are fun. Click home. Yeah, fuel, performance, landing. We're coming into Miami, 8 left, flaps 30, and we're dry. Now, let's do something here on our FMCs. Well, since we're getting a lot of glare on that one, we'll use this one. Go to menu, D-Link, AOC, request, weather. Now that's what we're going to do. KMIA. Send it. Wait for the message. and click on it. All right, so we're now looking at 130 at 11 gusts to 20, 10 miles. Our broken, I'll have to look at this. I don't know what this one is, but we do have one saying broken at 4,000, one at 25,000. We're going to need to clarify. Okay, stand by. I'm going to bring charts back in to help us out on that. All right, over here, folks, you can also check the ATIS right here, but we're going to check the METAR. All right, so we're, okay, scattered at 28. Okay, wait a minute. This is as of 4 minutes ago. 1953. Okay, so yeah, this is a new one that came out. They might have caught that and they changed it. Enough pilots complained. 130 at 10, gusts to 19. Okay, a little off on the gusts from 1953. 10 miles of visibility, a scattered sky at 2,500 or 2,800 feet. Broken is our ceiling, which is 6,000 feet. Overcast, 25,000. 26 degrees, 3017. Okay. Now, if you want to know what these remarks mean, the neat thing here on charts, it kind of breaks it down into English. So we have an automated station with a precipitation discriminator, hourly temperature of 25.6 and a dew point of that. Believe it or not, that's what all of that gobbledygook is telling you right here. All right. So, with that new information, let's head over here. And let's start pumping it in. All right, so our wind, 130 at 10. Temperature 26. All right, now for the altimeter, let's just go 30, what are we doing? 3017, which is translated to 1021. $30 flap, air conditioning, auto, anti-ice off, brakes. We'll go brakes 3, speed brake, auto, no credit for reversers on this one. All right. Oh, I clicked home. I'm like, what did I do wrong now? Oh, our landing weight. Estimated landing weight of 133.7 or 133,704 pounds. Okay. All right. Currently, we're looking at 147 for our VREF. -5 makes it 142. We're going to eat up about 2,297 meters on the runway, and you can see how that breaks down. What the heck? I'm really getting tired of my laptop doing this, and I think I know why. Really getting aggravating. So, gives you an idea about how far down the runway we'll go. And looking at flight aware, okay, that is not the one I want. Hang on a second. Just getting an idea where the real flight went gate-wise, and then we'll try to match it. Going to D39. Okay, so we're going to need to turn in at intermediate 8 and proceed almost straight ahead to it. Okay. Let me show that real quick. Alright, so once we land here, folks. Hang on. Alright, so once we land, hopefully we get off at M9 or M10. We'll come back at 8. We should be right about here for 39. Delta 39 right there. That's where the real flight today is scheduled to go, and it's a little bit behind us. Alright, so there you go, folks. A little bit of the arrival brief. Now that's one way to get your numbers. Okay. Another way is, you guessed it, Top Cat. Okay, now that was not what it was supposed to do. Why did it go to that? Oh, that's why. It errored out. Sorry about that, folks. Meant to do it this way. There we go. Alright, got that fixed. Sorry about that. I did not notice it had been timed out, or maybe I accidentally X'd out. Who knows? You never know with that loose nut behind the wheel. Alright, so let's go to Top Cat. That looks so much better. Okay, everything looks right. Actually, no, it doesn't. Nope, we got to change some things. So bear with me here. We're going to go. All right, we're going to KMCO for Orlando. Fuel on board 21370. Burning $13.79. All right, and I hope our zero fuel weight probably is not correct. All right, and All right, that's close enough. All right, so we'll come over here to takeoff. Nope, we're going to go to landing. We're going to land 8 left, 8,600 feet, 8 right, 10,000 feet. I like that one better. We'll update the weather. Okay, 130 and a little better here. Is this newer weather? Hang on, I'm checking this out. Yeah. Oh, this is the same one. Broken 6,000. Okay. Thought it said 4,000. All right. Hang on a second. Everything looks good here. 1317. Do a quick compute. 152 for approach, 143. Pretty close. So that means basically we're going to fly down from lawn at 152. We'll slow up at the middle to inner marker to 143. But again, you've now seen it a couple of ways. If you want to pay for it, what you can do. All right, folks, we have 278 miles to go. And if, by the way, folks, you want to get rid of this and get back into the flight, just click any of these and that'll put you there. Like I said, I truly believe this is better than what PMDG puts out. And you pay an arm and a leg for it quite a bit of many a time. Because you're updating to new sims, so guess what? You're going to want to update to the latest and greatest version of PMDG, so it looks pretty on your pretty sim, so you say. All right, and again, this is free, folks. All right, so we are set up for our arrival. Let's just see just what kind of business is going on up there in the world of Miami. Oh, it looks like some people headed down to Tongton. One of the more challenging approaches. It's not super hard. It's just a big circle around to land on it, but it's coming down a hill. It's kind of like going into St. Bart's with a airliner instead of a little puddle jumper. So, all right, let me just see something here because I got a feeling. Yeah, we may have troubles. Not with the controller, but with frame rates keeping us on. We'll do our best, though. We'll see if we can do it. I am going to take a quick break, hit the restroom, and get ready for this last part of the leg. Folks, now would be a good time to put in a prediction for the landing. I'll give you the format here. All right, it's simply the exclamation mark followed by the word predict. Put a space in there and a negative number. And then you'll be in there. Hawker just put his in. Welcome in again, sir. And a little bit about him, folks. Head over to his channel and click that follow button because you want to follow him. He is in the world of... He has a Hawker 125 fuselage in his garage. He is going to turn that Hulk into a Hawker 125 flight sim, depending which one he chooses. Hopefully he doesn't go to the dark side, but you never know. we'll see that, but you can check the progress if you hit follow when he comes on. He'll update you and all, but he would sure love for you to give him a follow, and that way you know when he's live. Just like here, if you're new to the channel, we'd love you to smash follow and join us on all our streams, especially the ones we come up in surprise. We did that Wednesday. Got done with everything I needed to. We got home. We did a test flight for Fearless, and that was a surprise stream. We were not scheduled. All right, so I will be right back, folks. And by the way, Hawker, you're welcome. And I'll be back with you here momentarily. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we'll bring this thing in. All right, folks, we're back with you. We got traffic, let's see if it's even visible, about 1,000 feet above us. Right there's the contrail. That's about as best we're going to see of it. That may be one of those Tonka 10s I was talking about. If I'm mispronouncing it, my apologies. All right, folks. Hang on a second. Hey. There'll be another one here shortly. As we clear and head for Miami airspace. So, alright folks, so I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, hey, again, smash that follow button. We'd love to have you aboard. for our next future flight. Also, we will be working on the schedule for next week. Not sure yet what we're gonna do. But I'm trying to restrict now to two, kind of allowing myself more time in Lent to get closer with my Heavenly Father. So that's why we're not doing the 3 a week. Now, granted, we are doing 3 this, well, no, yeah, 3 this week, but we're not scheduling 3. So, and then after Easter, we'll see from there. All right, and Miami is still saying 8s, 9s, and 12. Okay, so we're good on our setup. And it's hard to tell this, folks, but directly below us is Cuba. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dial up whatever Miami is on, 135, 175. So that way when he calls me, I can do that. I'll tell you this much, San Juan is alive and well today, folks, in their center. They got St. Martin loaded up here with approach and tower delivery. Holy mackerel. So yeah, there's a good place if you're looking on VATSIM to head out to. We'll continue into Miami. Again, our alternate is Mickey World, Orlando, Florida. All right, folks. Getting in a little closer here. Ikvix is 24 miles out, and as you can tell, just about 20 miles past that, looks like our top of descent flag is right about here on the map. All right, so see how this all transpires. All right. All right, so Dolphin is 139. I'm sorry, 113. 9. And in case we go to Virginia Key, all right, now I'm going to back this up with the ILS just in case he doesn't like my idea. One 110.3. What's this? Ah. All right, so Charlie is our first one. Okay, initial descent. $23,000. All right, so we're set up now, folks. Basically, what I was doing was just getting us set up now. Let's run. Okay, so we need the descent using the altitude. We need the start switches to continues. Fasten seatbelts no lower than 15,000. Landing lights at 10,000. I'm also gonna do a request for winds. Just updating the database here, and then we'll talk to Miami. Okay.
Miami Center, Westjet 2703, flight level 360.
Westjet 2703, Miami Center, radar contact, squawk 5772.
You're cut out there, say again for 2703.
Correction, Westjet 2703, squawk 5772, 5772.
5772, Westjet 2703.
American 1354, Miami Center, runway 8 right, clear for takeoff. Giant 202, climb maintain, follow 400.
Order climb maintain flight level 400, Giant 202 heavy.
American 18, correction, American 1354, Miami on.
Ooh, is that me?
American 2699, radar contact, climb maintain 16,000.
Maintain 16,000, American 2699.
Southwest 6 Juliet, climb and maintain, follow 350.
Climb maintain flight level 350, Southwest 6 Juliet.
All right, I may be disconnecting.
Miami Center, 1354, holding short, 8 right at Miami. Southwest 3027, radar contacts, turn right direct dormer, climb maintain 12,000.
Direct dormer 12,000, Southwest 3027.
American 1354, Miami Center, runway 8 right, clear for takeoff. 8 right, clear for takeoff, American 1354. Number 474, Kilo Charlie, descend and maintain 3,000, report service at airport in sight.
Alright.
Descend 3,000 and we do have service at inside Plaza 720, 4 Kilo
That's
Charlie.
way too much.
4 Kilo Charlie, clear, visual approach runway 22.
I can't get a word in. Alright, well, we're disconnecting. When that happens, I'm not letting them control me. I'm controlling my airplane because it's top of descent time, folks. I could not get a word in edgewise. I'm not even going to try to fight them. And this way we'll definitely get 8. It looks like they might have been trying to land us on the 12. Alright folks, so sorry about that. We're off VATSIM at Miami Center. Just way too busy here. I wish I could bring it up. If you go to SimAware, you'll get an idea of just how busy they are. And that's what stinks. You only have one controller. They need more than one so that people can get in sequence, like in the real world. But, you know, it's VATSIM. It's volunteers, so you can't expect that. Alright, so here we go, folks. Might even try the HUD this time. So we're about 78 miles out. Let's see if we get our information here. All right, folks, so we are in the descent. We have updated our weather. We do have our switches in. We are in descent via the intervene of the descent. Hamper is coming under us, so we need to set 11,000. Why? Well, because our restriction here at Pamper was at or above 23,000. We're above it at 25,000, and we got to keep the speed down. All right, so here we go, folks. We're making our run in. And again, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike today. I'm going to go ahead and put some speed brakes in. If you're new to the channel or you haven't clicked follow, you've been popping in and out on different streams, we love that, folks. But if you're not following, we would sure love for you to click that follow button. Lets us know, how we're doing out there. All right. Let's see. All right, so we got, what do we have here? About 7 other virtual American pilots flying. And if you are looking for a VA, folks, and I'm going to preface this, and I know it's not going to sound fair, so my apologies ahead of time. You'll understand where I'm going here. If you know your aircraft, if you can fly, and execute, what you need to do to land within a given amount, fly in, you're okay with some rules to make sure hoops you jump through to make sure your PIREP gets accepted. It's a great organization to come to, folks. It's a little challenging that way, but I say all of that because it can be very frustrating at the same time, especially when PIREPs are getting rejected for hard landings and so forth. I get it. I actually was there, granted, quite a few years ago. Well, actually, you know what? I'm still there. I still pop a bad landing here. I still, it still happens, folks. Even the most seasoned pilot will have a hard landing from time to time. But, if you're really wanting a challenged airline, this is one to join. Check them out, though, before you sign on the dotted line to become a member. You're not spending money. That's not what that line was meant. It was just check them out first. Because sometimes that's not for some people. That can be rough. And that's why I say check them out before you sign on that dotted line by saying, yeah, I'll join. And they go, I didn't know that. Well, you need to go buyer beware on this one. All right, let's keep the speed down here. All right, once we get to our next fix here at Sandburg, we're heading up to Halsam. That is the 11,250. All right, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the little 2.5-hour jaunt. Seatbelts on.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are descending. Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
Thousand to go.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead now and set for 4,000. And at that point, we will be setting up for our arrival at LLEG. All right, so we're coming in on a, what are we flying here? What's this one called? RNIP approach, IA-in, and our RNIP is 1.0. We are 0.04, so we are doing good. And then I'm going to go ahead, dial this in a little. And we're back outside the window. So again, folks, I hope you have enjoyed. It's been a fun flight, that I will say. I need to... Last check of the weather, 120 at 11:10, broken, still the same 33 minutes ago. Okay, hide. Now, LLEG does not have a speed restriction. Okay, so what we're going to do is at that point, we're going to slow this beastie down. Copra is 9 miles, so we're going to slow to 180. All right, so here we go, folks. Sitting 7 miles from LLA, and I think we're gonna make our speed. Let's take over speed. Auto brake 3. It. .43. Okay, that's what we predicted.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing in about 10 minutes. Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Okay, we are in the soup. Okay, now we do show our diamonds here, so
1,000 to go.
okay, here we go, folks.
Thousand to go.
Okay. I believe I got the runway in sight. This will be okay. I think I'm gonna take
2,500.
Okay, we're going to be landing a little slow here. I need to get up the VREF. Okay, stable landing, missed approach altitude set.
Thousand feet stabilized, Mr. Approach altitude set.
And we will be landing. Flaps 30, 3 green. Anything not done is the spoilers.
Approaching minimums.
Landing.
400 minimum.
All right. All right, so we need to head down. Actually, we're going to go ahead and head into the infield here. Hey, brakes are set. All right. Brakes off. All right, so we've landed. Weather radar off. Yes, that should have came off long ago. Terrain off. TCAS. Standby. APU generator and all good. All right. Okay, let's get on the generator. Shut them down. All right, folks, again, hope you enjoyed the run. We're in gate Delta 39. Yes, we came off VATSIM. I am kind of glad we did. And let me take a look over here at frame rates. Could have been dicey, especially with the traffic load here. All right, folks, so welcome in. And what I'm going to do here, put this over. And you can see I haven't hit any commands and it's already set up to unload. Amazing. We'll get the chocks in. All right, there we are, folks. Welcome to Miami. Get rid of that. You all get again a good glimpse of a 737 panel. And let's see, I don't see anything about how we did landing rate wise. So first off, before I do anything, make sure beacon off. Not sure why it's showing GPU available, because it's only available now. We're not going to go to it. And good. And you can see all of that happened, folks, without us touching it. That is just flat out amazing to me. So, yeah, like I said, PMDG is a little behind the time. All right, with all of that closed out, let me do my stuff here with American. File. We're here. Where are... Let's view my PIREP. All right, so we landed at 368 feet a minute. Yeah, it felt a little rough to me, but we got 240 points closer to our promotion rank, and we did pretty good here. All right, so let's now take it to, hang on a second, clear. Oh yeah, I'm glad I did, because we'd have been switching frequencies left and right. All right, and so let's bring in Sim Toolkit. Now, this is probably the big thing I really like about this program. 302 feet a minute at 123. So there's part of the problem. We got slow. I kind of figured it. I had to bump it up a couple times to get it to closer to VREF on the approach. So we're still, hey folks, we may have 10, 12,000, 18 million hours flying. But folks, it still boils down to understanding what you're landing, because landings, folks, are challenging. Though every landing is different, they're never the same. Your winds are different, your crabbing different, or your headwinds making you move power more. But general physics of it, as long as you get it in and stable and you bring it in like that, usually you get a landing under 300 feet a minute. We're a little over. By Sim Toolkit standards, 368's what the airline recorded us at. Okay, so here's the route from Liberia, Costa Rica to Miami. So let's get into a little bit more detail. Basically, it was a 2-hour, 40-minute flight, 960 miles, 6,300 kilos of fuel, and 1.3 Gs. That's not bad, folks. 302 feet a minute. Like I said, a little slow. And I think, I can't really, yeah, we're a little on the lofty side there, 2,200 feet. I was actually following the pole there, and, or the, what's it called? Hang on. FPV. And that's where it ended up putting us. And that kind of wasn't helping me at all. So I may stop using the HUD. But anyway, we number-wise looks good. I mean, overall. Landing-wise looks good. We're into landing zone, folks. If you're not familiar with the airport layout here, all right, it's very hard here because it's very dark or very bright. But here's your threshold line. So from this line forward in your flight, that's where you're supposed to land. 500 feet, 1,000 feet. And this is your visual marker. Okay. ILS and PAPI set up usually to put you right on here. The green dot tells you where I touched down at. So there's another 500, another 500. I think there's going to be 2 more. Now, after this one, there's none. Okay, so your landing zone ends just about here. Can you land past it? Yes. No one's going to get in there and go, okay, Flying with Mike landed 3,900 feet down the runway. Write him up with a $10 million fine. No. However, be mindful, because those same marks, those hash marks at the end, approach end, appear on the departure end. And when you start seeing them, that's telling you in 500-foot increments how far you have, how much runway you have left. Plus your runway distance remaining marks are counting down pretty good too. Then you might want to slam on your brakes. There's what I was talking about. That's your visual cue. You can see that really good in the cockpit. And then you have your 500-foot increments out. And just so you know, we're this guy right here. No. But that is our stand. Okay, so enough of Sim Toolkit. I think we got the gist there. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the overlay. And folks, I really do hope you enjoyed this. I did. It was a fun flight. I want to check a couple things, see how well we're doing. Oop. High rod below 1,000 feet. I don't know what that means. I've never actually looked at that, folks. We're We're just about empty on people. We're 34% fuel. We got plenty to get up to good old Mickey World, so. I've actually never gotten long enough in here to zero. So I don't know if it's going to pull the jetway away or not. All right, but again, stand D39, welcome to Miami. Okay, looks like I have to pull it away, which is no problem. Ground services, we're not on you. Get rid of you. Okay, and once we're all buttoned up, let's see if we can't get a rewind here. Hopefully that's not too loud for y'all. See how we did as we close in on our airport. Oh, we lost it. So let's slow up. Maybe it'll come back. That's one thing I've been noticing here. Hopefully they get the scenery bugginess worked out a little bit. It's coming in. We should get an airport before landing. There it comes. Yeah, that was a little rough on the landing. Yeah, it was a little rough. Little high, little rough, yeah, because right there's the landing zone. Yeah, all right. Let's take a look at it from the vantage point outside the passenger windows. Wasn't too bad. Let's look out the other side. That wasn't really too bad, folks. I mean, could I have done a lot of few things better? Yes. All right, let's look out the front. Okay, you see how your pappies are aligned? They're just past this taxiway. Aiming point right there. Glide slope right there. So that's where the HUD was really giving me fits. Hence, a little longer than I should have landed. Well, one more time and see how the tower captured us. Flared really high. Alright folks, well, that's the best we can do for you. I hope you enjoyed the flight. I hope you enjoyed the 2-hour flight out of Liberia, Costa Rica into Miami. Folks, it's been a pleasure like always. Keep an eyeball in Discord. It'll let you know our upcoming flight schedule once I put it together. Also, once I do, look on the Twitch page under the schedule. You'll see it there, as well as under the About. Folks, if you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. Thank you, Hawker, for being here. Matt, 1990, I saw you out there. And to those who joined in, thank you. We sure do appreciate it before Attitude was here. So, thank you again, folks, for flying with us. If you follow us, folks, who knows? There may be some surprise streams coming. Never know. So, or you just want to help support the channel by being a part of the channel. So, folks, we'll see you next time. I wish I could tell you what it was, but I have no idea what flights are coming up. So for now, I'm just going to say have a great night. God bless you all. Remember the reason for Lent, folks, and draw closer to the Lord. God bless you all. Have a great day.